Beautiful! Welcome everyone to game number 1 in the series, and once again, for this one, we will leave the colors as they are for the players, as they have chosen to use the colors over here. Usually, we will just move this over to blue and red. I know that it can be a little bit too monotonous from time to time, so we are just going to try and keep the colors as they are. And instead of just preemptively trying to prevent any issues for color blindness and whatnot, if anybody has an issue actually seeing the players against the background or in the minimap or in the actual game canvas, do let me know. We are going to try and only fix it if it's broken, so to say. So if you're not having any issues, we are just going to maintain the player colors. Original colors is way better? Alright, alright. I will still change this to blue and red if we have anybody having any issues telling the players from the background or telling the player units apart, but we are going to try and preserve the original colors where possible. Let's take a look at the civilizations. We're going to see that Liereyy is playing with Japanese and DracKeN is playing with Mongols. Starting with a green player up in the north, Liereyy actually does spawn in between both these rivers, closer to one of the rivers though, the one towards the northwest instead. And he's going to be farther away from the one towards the southeast. But compared to DracKeN, for instance, who has basically the entire river over here on his back and doesn't really have much of a chance to go for the northwest one, it's going to be interesting to see for sure. Usually, we saw in the Silver League that this map would often generate either both these players with one river each, kind of like DracKEN's generation, or the players in between the rivers and opposite corners, or maybe sides would be more accurate, right? On opposite sides, and they would have to make a choice of which water to go for. But now it's going to be a little bit of a combination between both. I will always vote for amber and teal. Yellow and gray for better contrast. Seems about right. And yeah, let's take a look at the player civilizations. Also, do let me know if I made a mistake with the flags, but I believe this is correct. I believe Liereyy is Austrian, and I believe DracKeN is Czech. Taking a look up in the north, Liereyy, playing with the Japanese, is going to get a 50% discount on drop-off buildings. On top of that, we also see for the Japanese 33% faster attacking infantry units starting in the field age. Their fishing ships will work faster at a 10, 15, and 20% faster gather rate than the Dark Philo Castle and Imperial Ages for the Japanese, in addition to having twice the HP compared to standard fishing ships and +2 pierce armor. For the team bonus, finally, Liereyy Civilization is also going to provide them with 50% extra line of sight on galley line ships. Taking a look down south, DracKeN playing with the Mongols instead. It's going to have 40% faster working hunters. On a map like this can actually be very strong because you do get a lot of hunting, right? Compared to a standard map, you're going to have about twice as much hunting meat over here from the epics. Besides the fast working hunters, we're going to see for the Mongols also 30% extra HP on light cavalry hussar and steppe lancer line units. They're gonna have 35% faster attacking cavalry archer type units, and for the team bonus, the Mongols get 2 extra line of sight on scout line units. So DracKEN's getting some scouting information over here, pushing the Ibex over to his TC, and I don't know about this, honestly. We'll see. Regardless, what did you guys think about the history hit video about the cannon? It was extremely loud at first. I tried to decrease the volume, but then hopefully afterwards it was good. I was not here, of course. I was just preparing my tea, so you're gonna have to let me know. But it seemed entertaining, though. What were they testing now? Bombard cannon? By the way, News Apartment Cup 4 confirmed. Let's go! Yes, sir! Ah, that is so good. That is so nice. I love it. Where is it confirmed? Is it confirmed on AoE Zone, or did they confirm it after the Best of 11 series? I would imagine it was probably after the Best of 11 series, right? It seems like it's a good event for promotion. So yeah, seems good. We took a look at the player civilizations. We didn't really take a look at the map generation yet, as the players are getting already to the fuel age. Let's take a look at the map generation really quickly. We're gonna have the main goal on the back for Mr. Liereyy. He's got the main stone on the back. We have secondary goal on the back, secondary stone on the back as well. All these resources are very easy for him to secure if he just goes for some walls towards the river, right? And then he's got the other secondary goal forward. This one's not going to be quite as accessible, but anyway, the map generation I would say is pretty good for Mr. Liereyy. Meanwhile, taking a look at DracKeN's map generation on the other hand, he's got the main goal. Oh my lord, DracKeN's got the main and the secondary goals on the back, and he should very easily be able to wall himself off. As a matter of fact, he's already done so. You take a look at the map generation, and the wall line is connected to the edge of the map already, so he's completely walled off. The only thing that he does not have access to right now is the main and secondary stones up in the north and on the right hand side. Oh, there's a handbook. Nice, nice. I'll take a look at it for sure because I'm very curious. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to open it in my browser and leave it there. Thank you. Oh man, the logo is so nice. It's so beautiful. I love it. I love it. Seems like really well made. A little bit of field pressure coming in from Liereyy playing with the Japanese. We were expecting to see an archer play over here. It was going to be either straight archers or Marathon's archers. He went for straight archers. However, he did go also for a sneaky duck on the right hand side. And DracKeN's trying to go. No, he's just getting scouting information over here, but no villagers whatsoever. So maybe not the best. Yeah, and I am also very much surprised that DracKeN has not taken advantage of the hunting over here. That's the whole point of Mongols on a hybrid map. It's to utilize the faster working hunters to go up faster and potentially get a head start on Navy production, but it's been pretty rough for DracKeN. Now he's trying to defend himself against Lierey's stock over here, and it seems like he should be able to, right? Lierey's got only 2 fire guys over there. He's going for a demolition raft. Meanwhile, DracKeN's trying to take on the villager. Won't be able to. This is just futile. He just needs to focus on taking the dock down and ideally going for a few extra units. And the thing about this though is Lierey's push is actually really good because by just garrisoning 1 unit inside the dock over here, it could very well be just a fishing ship. He can mind game DracKeN and force the purple player into going for a bunch of extra navy units while Liereyy wouldn't really be spending too many resources himself, right? In the end, Liereyy is trying to make a play for Navy, and DracKeN is not going to waste the resources going for the extra fire galleys over here, but still struggles a little bit when you compare it to what Lierey's got garrisoned already. There's a 4th Navy unit coming out for the green player. Meanwhile, DracKeN, on the other hand, he's got a 4th fire galley himself as well coming out, but not forward yet. On land, we also have still a little bit of pressure over here. It seems like DracKeN's going to come out on top. The archers should be going down from Liereyy, and they will. Yes, sir. The spearman goes down as well. And here comes the green player unleashing the units, getting a nice demo shot over there. It's gonna have still about 3 fire galleys to work with against only 2 fire galleys left from DracKeN, and not on particularly high HP for the purple players. So Liereyy manages to clean up Purple's navy down south, and he's got enough fire galleys to roam around and go after the fishing ships. And all of this is while going up to the castle age as well. Lierey's absolutely insane. DracKeN not even close in economy. Lierey's even gone as far as to go for a bunch of extra fishing ships. Notice as well, the Liereyy did take all the hunting. You can see that he's collecting the 2 final ibex up in the north over here. So, yeah, DracKen's not really going to be able to do that anymore. So, no wonder the Lierey's going to be so much better. I will report the next C4 for not including Nova under talent. Also will report Gauss for being alive. Or dead. Right. This could be really good for DracKeN though. Let's get in a nice villager pick. There we go. Yeah. Overall, DracKeN doesn't die getting cleaned up over here. But he was able to buy himself some time as well, because Lierey's crossbows right now, they are stronger. And if Liereyy already had the freedom to go forward with the green units, right? There isn't really too much that DracKeN will be able to do to defend himself. So he does bring another archer over here. And it seems like he's going to deny the TC. And this is actually a decent bunch of pressure coming in from DracKeN. Unfortunately, though, just going to be catching up. Playing catch up, or trying to. And yeah, of course, Liereyy is still ahead in eco count because of the fishing ships. And it's not looking particularly close after he cleans up DracKen's dock over here on the back. It should be in a pretty good position as well. Castle Age is here for DracKeN. There's one thing that I admire from you, Goss. You're so relentless. You're not gonna stop until I eventually answer some of those questions, right? Still answers on the way now for DracKeN. Second TC on the way now for Liereyy. Still, of course, he's been trying to go for this for a while. And while DracKen's still very much behind, no matter how you slice it over here, the fact that Liereyy is still struggling to put pressure is remarkable, right? Like, DracKen's been able to buy himself so much time. Now the Step Lancers, Step Lancers are going to be quite effective against Crosses in certain situations, but not always. They are much weaker against range units compared to Knights, for instance, as they get only 1 base Pierce armor. And they don't have anywhere near as much HP. Even if DracKeN were to go for Bloodlines, that would only bring these guys up, right, by 20. So it's not the best. Yep, quick wall for Liereyy. And one situation in which these Step Lancers actually are pretty strong against Arch-type units is when you find the archers squeeze into a choke point, because the extra range allows the Step Lancers to actually target several more units at a time as well. We'll see. They're in worse than light cavalry against crossbows. If you just play them like a standard unit, yes, they're not great. But in specific situations, they can be still very strong. I don't think we have that situation happening over here taking place anytime soon, but still. Nice. DracKen's pressure. It's kicking up. Nice conversion over there. Threatening. The Manil forces DracKeN to delete it. And now he cannot do much of anything anymore. Liereyy has taken the time to go for a second and third TCs. While DracKeN still has extra pressure coming out from the left-hand side. He's got 2 extra Manils coming out. Now, because he's got the heal advantage, these will be significantly deadlier against the TC compared to before. Redemption's OP, man. Hey, Andre. Is this Andre the player, by the way? Let me know. And he's coming in with the monks. 2 mountains over there are not going to suffice, I think. So long as Lierey's paying attention, should be able to get the conversions over here. At the very least, threaten the conversions. And there we go. He's trying to go after the mountains, forcing DracKeN away from here. And well, we'll see the step lancers come in. The conversions connect. And he uses the converted Magnal to take another one down. So that's going to be 3 Magnals down the guard already for DracKeN, who gets pushed away by a huge ball of crossbows. Only 1 Magnal remains over here. Could very easily go down to the crossbows if Liereyy plays his cards right as well. There is also the potential for conversions still, as one of these monks is full HP. That's 102. Yeah. I was wondering, I didn't remember if his username actually had, or, you know, the gamer tag, of course, but I didn't remember if his Twitch name had the 2i as well. Regardless, Redemption is very strong, and you can see it already in action, right? Converting the 2 Manils, Liereyy is able to take the remaining, one of the remaining Manils down. There is only 1 surviving from earlier from DracKeN, and he's bringing 3 additional Manils over, but you know, he'd be the wiser to keep his distance against the monks after taking as many losses as he has already. Conversion's coming up once again. And they do not connect when the monks goes down. As a matter of fact, I think it was 2 monks going down. And there's another conversion attempt over here. Let's see, he's gonna try and go after the monk. This time around, he will get the monk without losing a single mana. This is so much better compared to just a few minutes ago. DracKen's putting the pressure up, bringing the step lancers over, and he's got... Oh, he takes his own mana down. But he's got 5 manas left. He's coming in. He might be able to delay the castle, but he's got to be careful. Lierey's going to keep on trying to go for the conversions. Cannot get 1. Still has 2, 3 monks trying to get the conversions in. He does connect 1. That's going to be another mana going down to the converter 1, and he gets another conversion as well. So he could very well end up taking another mana down, and he does. Only 1 mana remains from DracKeN and Lierey's incredible perseverance trying to get the conversions over here allows him to hold on really well against DracKen's push. He's going to micro the monks, dodge the shots well, and he lands another conversion over there. He's going to try another one, and he will get another one, although I think he just took the converted unit down himself. But he gets yet another mana. That's been a lot of units down the gutter already for DracKeN so far this game. He's gonna try and go for a castle drop, but if you take a look at Lierey's current position with a much stronger military count and worker count, it's no surprise then the Liereyy calls, actually the DracKeN sorry calls the GG, and Liereyy gets game number 1 to get a lead over here. 1-0. The green player is going to open the series with a bang. Let's go and take a look at the achievements. We'll see for military, a better KD for Liereyy. In the end, it's going to be a little bit higher than 21 to 20. For economy, we have a stronger economy for Liereyy as well, collecting about 5,000 or 4,800 extra resources. For society, we'll see the villager max count over here for Liereyy is really good. 19 higher actually compared to DracKeN, and in the end, he ended up losing 10 workers throughout the game, while DracKeN ended up losing 2. Well done. Let's go back after the draft and jump into game number 2, hopefully. And we are in game number 2. So welcome everyone. The players have changed the color though, and Liereyy has right now the yellow color as opposed to green. I would usually just switch this back to green so that the colors would be consistent throughout the series. However, I do like the yellow better against green over here. It's going to be more contrasting. If we switch this over to green, on the other hand, you're going to have a little bit less contrast. And I think yellow and purple are contrasty enough as it is, isn't it? Hey, probably salty guy. Hello, hello. Hello. Welcome back. Continuing on in the German journey. Yesterday I learned a few extra words. Every day is a little step in the right direction. So yeah. We get to the... Hold on. I know the answer for this one. It's get. There we go. I couldn't quite recall the first word, but I got it in the end. Wie geht's as well. Anyway. Yeah, step by step. We're gonna get good eventually. Taking a look at the civilizations, what do we get for game number 2? Lierey's playing with Poles down the south. DracKeN, on the other hand, is playing with the Portuguese up in the north. With Lierey's civilization, he's gonna get 5, 10, 15, 20 HP regeneration on villagers per minute, and Dark Fiddle Castle and Imperial Ages respectively. We're gonna see for the Poles in addition to that. 0.33 units of gold that stone miners collect per each unit of stone that they mine. In addition to access to Folwark, the Poles will also have for the team bonus 1 bonus damage against archer type units with scout line units. Up in the north, DracKeN playing with the Portuguese instead will get interesting. He decides to play Portuguese on Arena. DracKeN, that is. An established clown is gonna decide to go for the Portuguese, so I'm very interested to see what the plan is over here for the purple player. Regardless though, DracKeN with this civilization is going to get, with the Portuguese, 25% wood income from the berries. In addition to that, we also see for the Portuguese access to Feiticeria in the Imperial Age, as well as 20% gold discount on units, and for the team bonus, they're also going to have 30% faster research and upgrades. If the clown does it, there is a reason. I would imagine so. Yes. 3 Feiticeria and 5 castles, I predict. Alright. Fast imp. I'm curious. And I'm not going to go as far as to try and actually predict what he's going to do. Let's take a look at the map generation instead, because I'm just going to look like a fool. Taking a look at the green player, actually the yellow player for game number 2 now. First, we're going to see that Lierey's got the main goal on the back, which is beautiful. He's got the secondary goal on the left-hand side. We have the main stone on the left-hand side. And then the extra resources, we're going to have the secondary gold, the secondary stone outside the walls, up in the north and towards the northeast. And that's going to be about it, right? That's good. This gold, as we often talk about, is very interesting actually, because if we saw the purple player scout alongside the wall like this, and he gets vision of this gold, as we always mention, we could very well see a potential for castle drops right over here that would allow him to deny this as well. And then this is already going to be kind of denied simply by virtue of being outside the walls. It would not be safe for Liereyy to go and try to collect from there. While taking a look at the map generation for the purple player on the other hand, we're going to see that he's got the main goal and the secondary goals on the back. And these will not be scoutable. So the main stone is going to be on the back as well. And instead, It's actually a really interesting map generation. It's very good for DracKeN because even the exposed resources outside the walls will be separate enough such a way that if Liereyy tried to come in with a castle drop, he would have to make a choice. He would have to choose to either deny the stone on the right hand side or deny the gold on the left hand side. He wouldn't be able to deny 2 resources at once unless he went for the castle over here, and he would be able to deny not only this gold but also this stone. Now the thing is that this stone is actually a neutral one, so it's not something that DracKeN was going to bank on from the get-go anyway. Castle Age should be on the way very soon for both these players. DracKeN is not going to fast imp over here, at the very least not straight fast imp. He could try and rush the Imperial Age after he gets to the Castle Age and goes for a castle drop. But yeah, right now DracKeN's only on 23 population. That is not enough to fast imp. While Liereyy on the other hand is going for the standard 25 plus 2 fast castle over here that he's just going to try to use to go for full economy, it seems to me. Beautiful. Castle Age is indeed the way for DracKeN. It's gonna have enough resources to go for a castle drop now. If we take a look at the scouting information, remember we talked about the secondary goal over here from Liereyy being potentially scoutable. And DracKeN has not scouted it yet! He's trying to get vision of the center first. Now he knows where all 5 relics are. Scout the walls, man. He's gonna do it now. And he will spot the secondary goal, and this is huge. There we go. This is huge because now he knows where a castle drop will deal the most damage if he is to go for the castle drop forward. And he's going to do it! Let's go! DracKeN's forward castle is going to be exactly where it needs to be. And I knew one of these days I was going to be right with my prediction. But he's got it. He's got the castle on the way. As soon as he gets to the castle age, he's got the villagers already at hand. We see over here about 9 villagers, 8 villagers for him actually. There we go. And here comes the castle. He's going to push the villagers away from the wool line. He's going to prevent gold collection over here. And in the end, it's not going to be in between the golds, but because these tiles and these tiles are already outside the walls, it'll be pretty risky for Liereyy to go and try to collect from those anyway. There we are. That's on the way now for Liereyy. Second TC on the way now for Liereyy as well, but DracKen's got some more guns coming out. He won't be able to prevent the castle from Liereyy, so the yellow player's done a really good job over here, recognizing the push and going for a defensive castle. That's going to put a stop to the push from DracKeN, at the very least from the north. Now the thing is, Lierey's going to have only 1 goal to work with until he is effectively able to push DracKeN away. Meanwhile, the purple player can breach through the walls over here, through a different area, and come in around the castle from Liereyy and try to put pressure from the right-hand side, right? He's got the scout over here trying to prevent the walls from coming up, and he might be able to get a village down, and he will! We don't have Loom for Liereyy now. Yeah, and the scout goes down in the end, but the villager does scramble as well. Yeah, and the walls are good. The walls are 100% good for Liereyy. The DracKeN, if he plays his cards right over here, brings a good amount of organ guns. He should be able to breach through the wall. So what does Liereyy do? I was about to suggest he should be going for some monks, as they are going to be quite effective against the organ guns. He's going for it. Nice though. Villager picks over here from DracKeN. And you gotta wonder, why is Liereyy even still collecting wood from there? He doesn't need to. He's got plenty of wood on the back, on the right hand side. Even further left. It'll be easier for him. It'll be safer for him. Liereyy may not have enough space for farms. It's gonna be fine. I think I can go for like 3 more bulwarks. But yeah, it's definitely not ideal though. It's going to become an issue the longer the game goes. Here comes the monk from Liereyy. He's got 1 already. He's trying to buy another castle on the right hand side. Well, that would allow him to put a stop to DracKeN's push. Completely right. If he's got a castle on the left hand side and the castle on the right hand side, DracKeN will be able to push until he gets to the Imperial Age, and we'll see. This is what I was expecting. More likely than a straight fast castle, just trying to rush the Imperial Age. Sorry, more likely than a fast imp, just try to rush the Imperial Age once he gets to the castle age. He's collecting some stone as well, and yeah, DracKeN's gotta try and prioritize going out to the Imperial Age. He's collected 2 relics already. Liereyy is roaming around with some of the scouts, might be able to get the monk down over here. He will. Well done. Yeah, and DracKeN cannot breach through. The walls over here are just too strong. There we go, DracKeN's trying to go up. And this is what we needed to see. He needs to rush the Imperial Age as much as humanly possible. So you'll see that he even sold the stone that he had. And instead of going for a second castle, he's rushing the Imperial Age. Because if you go to the Imperial Age earlier, you're going to have a head start in cherry ship production. If you delay your Imperial Age over, you know, going for the second castle, you're giving your opponent plenty of time for them to catch up as well. Let's see. Two petars and the 5 guns are in. True. Cherichet and Fateria. Agree, Cliffy. You're just going for Slack the privileges. I don't think he's got more than 1 stable though. Yeah, the second one is on the way. DracKeN's gonna be in the Imperial Age very soon. If he just focuses on the left hand side, just brings all the iron guns over here, and then starts going for trebuchets, DracKeN should be able to take this castle down easily. This castle, we'll see. Liereyy will need to make a play for the Imperial Age himself as well. Why back up the guns? He's not really doing much of anything on the right hand side. Once he gets to the Imperial Age, he will need the organ guns to protect the trebuchets with. I guess he just wanted to keep these at hand. No, see the monks coming in from DracKeN. Yes. There's Liereyy, no joke. He also forgot the relics. No. He lost the monks earlier to the scouts, and it took some time for him to start going for monks again, but he did collect the 3rd relic, and there's There's 2 left on the right. Power of the Clowns. DracKeN said yesterday, both Running and himself take at least 1 game from opponents. So they survive in Platinum League thanks to Arena, 45 clearing, and Fortress, right? So we'll see. There's a victory already on the way for DracKeN on the right hand side. And the Trebuchet is already on the way. It's already here. It's deploying, and the urn guns are protecting. Trebuchet now. Second one is on the way, of course, for the purple player. See a second Pizzeria coming very soon, I would imagine. Yeah, honestly, with a single castle, he's gonna be fine, so he doesn't need the stone. Here we are. Castle's under a lot of pressure. Still. No second Pizzeria though from DracKeN. That's somewhat surprising. Like an upgrade on the way now for DracKeN. He is expecting to see cavalry coming in Lierey's. He's been massing these. DracKeN's going for the pikemen. He's going for the monks. He's gonna have the tools he needs to defend. He needs to defend against Lierey's pressure, but we'll see. There's a second castle on the way, and now the time for Liereyy to strike. And he's going to split his army up. Notice he's going from behind and from the front as well. The pincer move over here. From Mr. Liereyy. Is it going to be effective though? That's the question. The castle's on the way already. It seems to me like this is coming in too late, guys. It seems to me like this is coming in too late. All the buildings are going down already. DracKeN ended up collecting the relics, and it seems like Liereyy is not going for a flank. There is a big push coming against DracKeN instead, so the 2 petards will bust through. And Liereyy will be in. However, DracKeN's momentum over here is so much better though, in my opinion. If this came down to a base trade, sure, Liereyy right now, he's got more units to work with. He's got a lot of extra villagers, right? So his economy is not going to be quite as easily impacted. However, DracKeN's push over here is also very strong, and I don't think there's a way for Liereyy to put a stop to this push right now. So it's a good idea for Liereyy for sure. And taking a look at DracKeN's village count, he's on 40 right now. We'll see how low that goes in a moment. Yeah, it's a lot of villages going down, guys. And that's going to be a full massacre from Liereyy against DracKeN. Taking all the villagers down, or the vast majority of these villagers. However, on the left-hand side, DracKeN's got Phaetorias on the way. He's got the villagers still. He's taking the castle down, and he will be sending his own units in with the pikemen. He'll have an effective army against knights, and with the monks, if he can convert some of these knights, he could potentially turn around and start raiding himself as well. But it's right now too much damage that DracKeN's being taken against Liereyy, and seems like the yellow player is in a better position because of it, and not only because of the raid, but also because of Lierey's decision making to start spreading around the map. Because if DracKeN was to push Liereyy completely out of the starting base, Liereyy is already kind of going for a proxy economy on the right hand side that would allow him to keep on surviving for longer. Meanwhile, DracKeN doesn't really have such a thing. He's got the Phaetorias over here, but that's not going to be producing any villagers, of course. And here comes the big engagement. Now Liereyy seems like he's going to be able to clean this down for the most part. That's a lot of monks still from DracKeN, but he's unable to get the conversion sometimes. Oh, and the pikemen are not strong enough anymore. The urn guns will provide still a little bit of a buffer over here, but not for very long. And notice how Liereyy even goes as far as to delete the monastery over there to take on the urn guns and get a proper surround. He also would benefit greatly from deleting the palisade, or actually the stone wall over here, but in the end he does manage to clean out the units from DracKeN. And well, the strategy from the purple player has certainly been an interesting one, but it's not been strong enough. And right now, DracKeN's left on 23 actual units, 65 population because of the Feiturias, of course, but yeah, it doesn't really seem like he'll be able to keep on going over here for much longer. While Liereyy, on the other hand, right, he's got so many extra villages to work with. He's got so much more military to work with as well. And the counter rate over here was nothing short of genius from Liereyy. And seems like it's going to give him the second win in the series already. Even on Arena, it's going to manage to take on DracKeN. Well, that should be the case, right? And we don't have fletching. This castle is not really the best. Oh boy. Number 6 Emerald Holes. This is GG. It's pretty much looking like it. DracKen's not calling it yet because it's got Halberdier on the way. And the Feituriya are still giving him some resources, but of course that's going to be only half as much after losing one of the Feituriyas, and he's got only 16 villages left. Liereyy on 58. It's already managed to get over 3 times the villager count compared to Liereyy by quite a lot, actually, much more so than that. So there is a counter against Portuguese Arena Castle Drop into Imp. Well, it seems so. If you're playing Poles and you get Shlachta privileges, it's much more viable compared to with any other civilization, of course, unless maybe you're playing Berbers, perhaps. Yeah, beautiful raid over here. DracKeN doesn't seem to realize about it, so he'll end up losing all his villagers back home. But TTL is going down next, of course, and there's only 1 villager left back home for DracKeN. He's got a grand total of 11 villagers, and that means 10 villagers forward, and that's going to be about it, right? Yep. Here we go. You know, the Halberdier from DracKeN are actually starting to get some good damage done over here, but this is just a drop in the bucket, of course. The only reason DracKeN has not called it GG is because it still has a somewhat strong presence around Lierey's base, but of course we know better, and we know that Lierey's base is nothing but a decoy over here. Most of his economy is actually on the right hand side. Just gained the stream. What the heck happened here? Well, to summarize the game, DracKeN went for a single TC, castle drop, organ gun production into fast imp push against Liereyy, and Liereyy went for 2 petards and knights and destroyed DracKeN. So we've been waiting from that point onwards for DracKeN to call it GG. But yeah, he's not doing it yet because of still having some resources coming in from the Feituriyas he's got left, because of still having some pressure coming in from the Halberdier, the Trebuchet, right, the monks. Liereyy is making a play for crossbows right now, and that should be enough for him to clean the units out from DracKeN. Knights obviously will not suffice against Halberdier anymore. But crossbows will. Beautiful. Only a matter of time until he gets the numbers that he needs. DracKen's not going for a third Pizzeria though. And here comes the engagement. He's trying to bait the conversions with the knights, so now he can go and take the monks down, and he's going to do so as well. Try to anyway. DracKEN still has a substantial amount of monks here, as well as a substantial amount of halberdier. Point blank range against the crossbows. They will take these units down, so Lierey's unit control here needs to be on point. He does get the choke point over there. Let's see. Here we are, as the halberdier get cleaned up for the most part. Now DracKen's military count is dropping. Liereyy should be able to keep on going for more crosses, and he does. He's got double, triple archer range, actually, crossbow production. They should be able to keep the numbers somewhat decent. And DracKEN still being extremely annoying over here, making a play for full monks with 10 gold miners. It's probably his best choice, but the problem is, once he runs out of this gold, he's not really going to have anything else safe, right? I guess he can go for this one too, but that's a little bit farther away from the castles, and because we don't even have fletching for DracKEN right now, just a few crosses from Liereyy should be able to put an end to gold income from that one. Play Bard and Armor on the way now for DracKEN 2, the halberdier. We're pretty strong as they were. With Play Bard and Armor, Play Mail Armor, sorry. It's gonna be even stronger. You know, Lierey's being a little overly cautious over here. And you can understand the yellow player, right? Afterwards, what happened? You can understand him being a little bit overly cautious over here. Just trying to get a few extra units out, given the fact that he's been struggling to defend against DracKEN's push. Extra TC coming out for Liereyy up in the north. He's gonna get access to extra gold over there. He's about to run out of this one, so he needs it. Yeah, all 5 tiles are going to be only 1300 gold left for Liereyy on the right hand side. And we see the conversions coming in. DracKEN's going after the villages right now. He's getting to a good amount of monks. If he plays his cards right, might be able to get enough conversions over here to kickstart his own economy again. And you know what? If he pushes Liereyy away from his starting base. Oh, third Pizzeria! If he pushes Liereyy away from the starting base, he might be able to take advantage of Lierey's resources the same way that Lierey's doing so up in the north, around DracKEN's original base. So here comes the big engagement. That's a lot of monks going down, and Lierey's control is absolutely fantastic. He's got light cavalry, he's got the crosses, taking on the halberdier, taking the monks over here as well. Doing so much damage, and the carnage ensues. Liereyy will take monk after monk, halberdier after halberdier. There is only 19 units left for DracKEN to play with, 18 right now. And that's going to go down to 17 in a moment as well. So Lierey's been able to stabilize himself just fine. And the way that he's gonna be able to take on DracKEN over here is by getting himself to the Imperial Age and going for trebuchets. Alternatively, going for a bunch of siege workshops and going for rams to take the Phaetorias down, to take the castles down. The castles are going to be the most important thing, of course. Why is he even playing? Well, in my opinion, DracKEN's been dead ever since Liereyy managed to come in and get so many villager kills earlier. But the reason he's kept on going up until this point, inclusive, is because he's not straight out died yet. Like, he still has a somewhat working economy, right? He's got 4 Phaetorias, the 3 already up and the 4th one on the way, 2 castles, and a good amount of production buildings. is going to be enough for him to keep on producing units. So he's not going to give up. So long as he's got the possibility of still producing military, which is why I say Liereyy needs to go for ramps or needs to go out to the Imperial Age to take the castles down. If he takes the castles down, there is no protection for DracKen's Fetorias. The villagers can't get destroyed as well. And that should be pretty much game over, but it in my opinion is still very much over at this point already. 113 population versus 104, which is kind of misleading from DracKeN, of course. It's going to take into account the Fetorias, otherwise it's only 26 population for DracKeN. Am I the only one who thinks DracKeN has got a chance here? I mean, I guess it wouldn't be impossible for DracKeN to come back, but the chances are pretty slim. I would say the probability of DracKeN taking this game is probably 10%. I think this is 90% over in favor of Liereyy. He's going out to the Imperial Age and he's getting a castle up, so we're gonna see trebuchets come out very soon. That's a good chunk of Cavalier though, coming in, taking on the light cavalry, trying to take on the crossbows. Fortunately for Liereyy, DracKeN will get the entirety of the blacksmith available to him. What? What? No way! Liereyy calls the GG! DracKen's Cavalier are the nail of the coffin? No way! My lord, Liereyy does not want to keep on going anymore. He calls it. I think Liereyy doesn't really know what the game is looking like, but like he was going to clean out the Cavalier over here. Yeah, he was taking a few villager losses, but he had 72 versus 13. We have the Fetorias over here, but the Feitoria, while they do take 20 population each, will not amount to 80 villagers worth of income over here. Surely, Lierey's going to be fine, right? Wow, what a game though. What a game. Absolutely incredible. Like quite literally, very hard to believe. Okay, I need to shake myself off this and go for game number 3, but that's going to be the equalizer, I guess. I was really expecting this to be 2-0. Let's go through the achievements and quickly cross the civilizations and the map from the draft before jumping into game number 3. We're gonna see for military a better KD for Liereyy. He had a much stronger economy, collecting about 10,000 extra resources. Like economy, military was better for him. Especially getting so many monks down with crosses and whatnot. It was very cost effective for Liereyy as well. And for society, obviously, he did end up with the highest villager count over here. He did produce the most villagers in the game. And while he did end up taking 69 losses, I don't know, I feel like he was still in a much better position over here. Well, I think Liereyy will be mad after seeing the villager count. I would imagine so. He must regret calling the GG. He must regret calling the GG over here if he does go and take a look at the game afterwards. And here we go, and now Lierey's playing blue. Come on! First, green, then yellow, now blue. It's just going all over the place. I think Lierey's probably trying to make it more contrasting, perhaps. Is that so? Does anybody know if Lierey's got another reason for going for all the colors possibly available to the players, or if he's just trying to increase contrast, right? Because if he played yellow or green, there is a chance that he's going to be playing yellow on a desert map, or he's going to be playing green on a grassland. So blue's going to be the best over there. But now we're going to have to switch colors. So DracKen's going to have to be... You know what? We're just going to keep DracKen the purple because he's being consistent. And we are just going to switch Liereyy over to yellow, right? The same that we had for the previous one. This is probably good. Trick Liereyy into thinking he was losing. I cannot still believe what we saw in game number 2. That is certainly not what a lot of people would have expected after how the game went in the Castle Age, right? Let's take a look at the civilizations, guys. Starting with Liereyy playing with the Saracens. We're going to see for the yellow player that he has, first off, cheaper markets to trade resources for cheaper. With the Saracens, in addition to that, we're going to see Liereyy get with the civilization. Beautiful. He's gonna get also extra HP on camel units. Well, for the rest of the stuff, it's going to be for water, for the rest of the standard bonuses, while the team bonus is finally going to provide the Saracens 2 bonus damage from food archery units against buildings. Chicken DracKeN Civilization, on the other hand, the Chinese will provide the purple player with 3 extra villages upon starting the game at the expense of 200 food, 50 wood. And we're gonna see, in addition to that, for the Chinese, 5 extra line of sight on TCs with 5 higher population support per TCs and 10, 15, 20% cheaper upgrades in the feudal castle and imperial ages. DracKeN Civilization gets for the team bonus also 10% extra food from farms for free, and that's going to be about it. Leader lost one? Yes, sir. And quite the one he lost as well. Beautiful. Let's take a look at the map generation, starting with Mr. Liereyy, the yellow player. He will have the main goal on the back. He will have a secondary goal towards the southeast. There's a secondary goal towards the northeast as well. And for stone, on the other hand, we do have the main one forward up in the north, and the secondary one is going to be on the back. So let's take a look. Getting some walls from here to here shouldn't be too difficult. For the yellow player, maybe something like this, he will be able to secure this goal, this goal, this goal, all 3 goals, right? But even if he didn't go for the walls like this, and he ended up going for something like from here to here, for instance, or something like this, which is not ideal, he would still be able to secure these 2, so that's good. And I think the map generation is actually pretty good for Mr. Liereyy. Well, if we take a look at DracKeN's map generation, on the other hand, what do we get for the purple player? It's got a main goal up in the north, so this one is not going to be forward, it's not going to be on the back, it's going to be side-ish. However, he does have both the secondary goals on the back, and shouldn't struggle too much to close this, right? Even going for something as small as walls from here to here and here to here should be enough for him to secure not only the goals, but also potentially the wool lines over here and over here. I don't think he's going to spot this yet, but if he went for these walls, he should be able to secure himself. Stone, on the other hand, is going to be forward, both these. So I think I'm still liking Lierey's map generation a little bit better, mainly because of the minerals. But what I do like for DracKeN, though, is that by going for these walls, he will be able to secure enough gold over here to get going until he can get eventually, like, let's say, in the castle age, a DC over here to protect this gold. And he can start expanding outwards, right? And by going for the walls the way that I was suggesting, he would also be able to secure the woodlands. Now, interestingly enough, he's going for a little bit of a potato wall. Yeah, it seems like he's just gonna try to wall himself like this. Which, given these resources, man, it just seems like such a waste. Yeah, just go to the edge, man. Well, it's got to be his choice ultimately. Militia's coming in from Liereyy. One against Saracens stupid anyway? I mean, I guess so. You could say also being aggressive against the Chimera would also be pointless, but you gotta try, right? PLH is here, ready for DracKeN. Yeah, the defense over here for DracKeN has been good. Liereyy ends up losing 1 of the militias. He's got only 1 left, the scout left. He's unlikely to get any damage down over here. DracKeN's not fighting the bait. Yeah, and archer range is on the way for DracKeN now. Lierey's going up on 22 villagers. This is usually an indication of archers, right? And he does have some gold miners already, so he's got the archer range already on the way. Good in control for DracKeN. Getting the archer range up. Second archer range is on the way now for DracKeN. Taking a look at Liereyy. Not so much. Here we go. Market on the way for Liereyy, yes. What was it, only 75 wood or 100 wood for the Saracen market? I think it was 75 in the past. It was a 100 discount on the market. I don't remember that got changed in the end to 75 less only, or not. Is the market also cheaper for Bohemians? No, the Bohemians, they get faster working markets, 80% faster working markets. Blacksmiths and universities cost minus 100 wood. For the Bohemians, yes. But the market's not affected. Nice villager snipe over here. That's gonna be first Eco Blood. Favoring Liereyy. Yeah, and in the end, DracKen's walls over here towards the edge of the map. They are all on the wrong side of the map, man. If he was here, then yeah, sure, these walls would make sense. But over here is like he's preventing his villagers from escaping potentially. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of DracKen's wall at this time around. He does have his own units on the right-hand side, though. The archers are getting 2 villages down from Liereyy already. Beautiful. This one. This one. Will Kingstone also take a game from Hera? That will be epic. Kingstone taking a game from Hera. Yeah, that'd be nice. In the end, the game stabilizes. DracKeN has managed to stay ahead somewhat. With extra workers, with extra military units. He's gotten 24 seconds of idle TC time, and he did lose 1 villager, but he did take 2 villager kills over here from Liereyy. Because he's been able to keep his idle TC time very, very low, DracKeN does manage to hold on to the villager lead over here, the Chinese Grand player. Plus the extra villager, of course, from taking 1 additional villager from Liereyy down, that's going to amount to 3 extra workers, which means if DracKeN were to go for wheelbarrow right now, it would actually be worth it because he's already on over 15 farmers and he already has 3 extra villagers. So if he got wheelbarrow, he will get enough time to save the resource to go up to the castle age, although he's going to use the market to go up ASAP by the looks of it. And his economy will certainly benefit from it, but it seems like he's just gonna go up to the castle age ASAP, and Lierey's going to do so himself as well. Both these players very close, and Liereyy manages to click up a little bit earlier, but DracKen's going to be only behind by about 3 seconds, so not a big difference. Not a big head start for Liereyy whatsoever. Beautiful. Here we go. Archer pressure from DracKeN gets another villager before the archer goes down. Yeah, and DracKeN might not have the armor. He was still able to get some good damage done. All the more remarkable. He's got a third stable coming up though, so it's going to be full night production in Liereyy. Liereyy, he doesn't know about the stables at all. Knows no better than to go for knights himself as well, but he's got double stables compared to DracKeN. He's not as good in terms of military potential, production potential. There's a stable on the way though for Liereyy, which is good, and DracKeN. DracKeN is getting his own stable spotted, and there we go. Now Liereyy needs to start going for camels, and he's going to make the transition. He knows if it comes down to a battle for who can produce the most knights, triple stable is going to favor DracKeN a lot more, right? Monastery is on the way for the purple player. Right now, Liereyy is the only player with the monastery up, and he's got the second monastery coming in as well. So it's going to be a very heavy monk production coming in. The DracKen's going to realize about right now from Liereyy. So you gotta wonder, is he gonna try and go for a second monastery himself? Beautiful. Yeah, overall not too bad. Not too shabby. On Micro versus a clown. Is stupid brave or just stupid? Let's see. Well, we have a tournament already for Liereyy, so he forces DracKeN to delete the monk over here on the Chinese. Now, the Chinese are not the best civilization for a monk play, I'll tell you that much. Well, the Saracens, on the other hand, well, there's a reason the Smash came in originally conceived as the Saracen monk rush. And that is because the Saracens get fantastic monks. They get fully upgraded monks. In the past, they used to have a technology called, I believe it was called Madrasa, right? Which gave you 50% of the cost of the monks back every time that you lost a monk. I don't think that is the case anymore. I think now they get, oh man, what is that? Struggling to remember the unique technologies for the Saracens. But let's take a look at the engagement over here first, though. It's a big one coming up, and the conversion connects. There's a lot of camels left for Liereyy. Some knights in the mix as well will make this army all the deadlier against archers. Seems like Liereyy is going to struggle big time. Fantastic. Extra siege workshop coming in for Liereyy now for the swell, and while the military count might have kind of equalized over here as DracKeN did manage to get some extra units out, Lierey's army composition, in my opinion, is so much better. Especially with the siege workshop coming in, 1 or 2 Magnals added into the mix over here is going to make Lierey's army kind of uncounterable by DracKeN unless he goes for his own siege workshop. And once again, the Chinese are not the best for monk play. It's not good at all. counterweight. Holy crap, there's a lot of spec delay from what I can see, or stream delay rather, sorry. Yeah, there we go. So that's the new technology for the Saracens, right? In the past, it used to be Madrasa. Truchase and Mangonel line plus 15% attack. Right. Actually, I was not going to remember that one because we rarely see it. I wouldn't have recalled on my own. I would have needed to take a look at the tech tree. Thank you, guys. Imperial H, Zealotry, still there, right? I think. So there we go. The mount is going to make a big difference. And the attack round is not there. What happened to Lierey's unit control? The crossbows are still very much alive. Taking the camels down is not going to be an issue for the crossbows. Just the knights will be a little bit of an issue. But Liereyy, he still wants to wait until he gets the mantle out once again. Another one. And the unit control over there was a little bit scuffed for the yellow player. As a matter of fact, this is not good for DracKeN. He's walking too close to the sun. He's getting too close to the siege workshop over there. We're gonna see a man come out. Not quite. And there you go. And that is a good shot, but it's going to be good enough. It's not going to be good enough as the crossbows take the mountain down in the air. Now DracKeN's looking like he might be able to get a better trade over here as the camels, the knights are going down in the crossbows. Squeezed into a choke point. Are too strong for Liereyy to fight against. We'll see the purple player push Liereyy out of the center over here into his own base, and you know what? DracKeN puts himself in a fantastic position to take game number 3 potentially. Wow! What a turn of events over here. I would call game number 2 the most unpredictable game that we have gotten in the tournament so far. Now, this might turn out to be the most unpredictable series that we have gotten in the tournament so far, right? If DracKeN is to take this one, he's got almost 3 times the military count compared to Liereyy. Just gotta make sure not to take questionable trades over here. So far, he's done a really good job. But if he keeps his unit control on point over here, he should be able to get some extra damage done. He's got the second TC already up. Liereyy is going for the second TC. It's going to be kind of a contingency one. He's trying to build this one up ASAP. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, Lierey's got the counter rate going. The very thing that allowed him to come back of sorts in game number 2. Of course, not definitely, but at that point in time is going to give him the potential to come back into this game as well. But there is so much more pressure coming in from DracKeN that it's ridiculous. Very important for the purple player to go and get ballistics. Right now he's got blocking arrow and powder arch armor, even not leather arch armor, but without ballistics these guys are not in the best location. Yeah, DracKeN can't keep on roaming around, right? There is no way that Liereyy will be able to defend all of this with a single TC. 30 villagers will be left up for grabs. He's going for ballistics. He's finally going for it. Meanwhile, Liereyy, on the other hand, he's just sending the monks in the knights, in the camels forth. He's hoping a counter raid over here is going to get him something comparable to what the counter raid got him in game number 2. We need a defensive magnet over here. Liereyy only has a 4 siege workshop, I think, right? Yeah, there are no defensive siege workshops over here for the yellow player. The lead is substantial, guys. The lead is substantial. And if Liereyy wasn't kicking himself over game number 2, after that one, if he ends up losing game number 3, he's certainly going to be kicking himself up over game number 2. Not to take anything away from the performance of DracKeN, of course, the purple player has looked absolutely fantastic. Unit control, the engagements, micro has been on point for DracKeN this game. He keeps on taking more villagers, now with ballistics. The effectiveness of these archers is significantly higher. Little stutter over there, sorry. Man, these crossbows might get cleaned up. What are the rest of the defensive units from DracKeN? He's got everything forward, right? Yeah, by the looks of it. He needs to roam around as well. He's losing so much damage over here just by respecting the TC too much. There is not enough range on the TC over here to provide protection everywhere, right? So if the purple player was to just go around here, he should be able to still get the archers around here, potentially even in between the TCs. Should be able to place the archers over there. Let's take a look. Yeah, you can go actually. Oh, nice magma shot from DracKeN. Does he know there are villagers there? He might not know because he has not dared going past the TC. That is the problem. If he knew, he probably would have tried to go already, but he's been respecting the TC too much. And well, he knows that there are some lumberjacks over here, but it just feels like he's taking too long over here. It feels like he's not really leveraging his advantage as much as he should. 2 mangonels now for Liereyy, in addition to knights and camels on the left hand side. Is going to try to get the pressure going. And he's bailing. He's going to try to get out of here. That doesn't seem like the right play. Man, if DracKeN just went around the TC over there, if he just ventured out past the TC, he would be rewarded so greatly. He would strike gold, quite literally. He would strike the gold with the archers. Okay, he's trying to spread out a little bit more. That's not good though. He's not paying attention. He's about to lose all the crosses forward. He's got to be careful over here with 3-4 mountains even from Liereyy to put pressure with in addition to the camels, in addition to the knights. There's a very big chance DracKeN with a misstep might end up getting completely wiped out. So while he was looking much stronger over here, I'm gonna let go of the lead a little bit. DracKeN is throwing or waiting because he's 20 villagers ahead? I think this might be a little bit more of a throw than a patient play. Not trying to go past the TCs over here when there's clearly not enough range for the TCs to protect the pass seems like a misplay more so than it seems patient play. Let's take a look. It's a lot of camels, a lot of crosses over here as well. The unit control is going to be good for DracKeN, preventing the mountains from taking the crosses, and we're going to see the camels going after the mountains as they get completely cleaned up. DracKeN still left in a bunch of crossbows and camels to boot. As he's got a meat shield, the crossbows to work from behind. He should be able to clean these units out pretty easily. We have some monks still for Liereyy, but he used the fate in many of these and doesn't seem to realize which monks still have faith versus which monks do not anymore. So he'll most likely end up losing the majority of these, and he does already end up taking a few losses, while he had the potential for conversions. DracKeN still looking stronger, more military units, more eco units in the end. The 4 archers left from DracKeN do go down, while Lierey's still holding on over here, but DracKeN should be in a much better position still because of a much higher eco count. This is kind of similar to what the song Game number 2, where I would not be surprised if DracKeN were to call the GG, even though I think he is in the winning position, just because of how strong the push from Liereyy looks, just by how things have gone the last 2 or 3 minutes, right? And like everything seems to be falling apart for DracKeN a little bit, losing the forward units, not taking the base engagements over here. He's gonna try once again. He's got a good amount of camels. He's got extra crossbows on the way. Liereyy. He's behind still in military and economy, but he is the one with momentum, right? He's the one putting pressure in. He's the one going for a forward castle. Well, DracKeN on the other hand, has been struggling to even defend himself against Lierey's push. Now, this I'm not really sure about. What is DracKeN doing here? I think that's got to be a misclick. He probably control group the villagers and send them to target that, like the mountain or something, instead of military units. But here comes another big engagement once again. Liereyy with the hails, gonna try to hold on to his advantage. Trying to take on the camels over here and get conversions going. We'll be able to land some conversions, but we still have a super large amount of crossbows for DracKeN to work with. And while the unit control over here for the purple player is nowhere near as good as it was in the past, and he does end up getting pushed away by the Mangonels, he will still stay about 13 workers ahead, but he did end up taking a lot of losses in the last 2 minutes or so. He's allowed Liereyy to catch up a little bit. And to think that this game, quite honestly, could have been over 20 minutes ago. But maybe not 20 minutes ago, but 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, if DracKeN had ventured past the TC, he would have gotten so much damage done. Even if he hadn't gotten the villagers down, DracKeN would have disrupted Lierey's economy so greatly that Liereyy wouldn't be able to keep on going afterwards. And if we take a look at the economy time right now, it's better for DracKeN, yes, but the pressure is stronger for Liereyy, and it's going to be a similar situation to game number 2, where DracKeN calls a GG when probably he should have been the one to win the series. As Liereyy takes game number 3 over here, we're gonna have a final score. A 2-1 for the Austrian kid. DracKeN, well, kind of lets go this game a little bit. Will certainly be kicking himself over this one when he analyzes the record the game himself, and that's going to be the case for Liereyy in game number 2 in any case. Let's go back and take a look at the achievements one more time before jumping into the third set of the day. We'll see. A better KD for Liereyy, approaching 3-2 for the economy. We're going to have a stronger economy for DracKeN, collecting 10,000 or 9,400 extra resources compared to Liereyy, and still not being enough. Villager count, especially towards the end, was starting to crumble a little bit for DracKeN, right? This is after he accidentally sent the villagers forward. And Liereyy started catching up over here. From this point onwards, Liereyy was going to start getting further and further ahead himself as well. So well done. Liereyy is going to take the series with the final score of 2-1. DracKeN is going to have to try again next round against a different opponent.